Good Thursday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. Interest was high last night in a Pybus Public Market forum featuring Wenatchee's two candidates for mayor. The Wenatchee Valley Museum is ready to get spooky as open casting calls for their haunted museum have begun. Get ready for a hot weekend followed by big weather changes on Monday through next week. One of the two men involved in a fatal Wenatchee shooting last year was sentenced Wednesday to 40 years in prison. Andrew Francis Morrow, 26 years old, pleaded guilty in Chelan County Court to charges of vehicular homicide, drive-by shooting, and fleeing from police. He admitted opening fire in the April 2022 shooting that killed 21-year-old David Lamelli Vasquez. Judge Travis Brandt assigned the sentence outlined in Morrow's plea agreement, which allowed the defendant to forego a trial for second-degree murder. His co-defendant, 24-year-old Benito Eduardo Licea, is charged with murder and related criminal counts, as well as attempted murder for an alleged assault on a Chelan County jail officer. Licea's trial date has not been set. A Wenatchee family is safe and unharmed after a barbecue fire spread to their back porch and the exterior of their home on Erin Drive. Wenatchee Valley Fire Chief Brian Brett says the fire in the 1500 block was reported about 6:20 p.m. Wednesday, damaging the porch, the outer walls, and the detached garage. The family of four was able to escape the home by the time firefighters arrived, and the first responders were able to save the two-story house itself. But Brett says smoke and fumes from the fire have made the interior of the house unlivable, at least for the moment. The occupants are receiving assistance from the American Red Cross. A man who's been sought by police ever since a Wenatchee shooting in 2021 was brought to court today. 42-year-old Donald Jeremy Brown of Seattle is charged with first-degree assault, robbery, and burglary for allegedly shooting another man inside a residential garage on Montana Court in July of that year. Wenatchee police say Brown stole a backpack from the scene containing roughly $10,000 and then shot the 34-year-old victim in the shoulder when he tried to intervene. Brown is now serving time in state prison on an unrelated conviction. He was transferred today to the Chelan County Regional Justice Center to make his first court appearance in the shooting. Voting in the next election doesn't start until late October, but interest was high last night in a Pybus Public Market forum featuring Wenatchee's two candidates for mayor. Brian Campbell and Mike Poyer are seeking to take over as Mayor Frank Kuntz steps down at year's end. In the forum, hosted by the Wenatchee World and the Wenatchee Valley Chamber of Commerce, the two candidates took questions from moderators and the public on a variety of topics, including their approach to homelessness in the city.
First of all, homeless is somebody's mom, dad, brother, sister, child. So these are human beings, so we need to take that in consideration. What's really nice about what's going on at this time, we're also on the verge that we're going to be able to help reduce homelessness here. What we had to set up was housing. We have 44 units going in the South Wenatchee, and that will help with 88 people. Once we have that, we can look at different codes and we can look at codes. We can also look at ways to, because now we have adequate housing for homeless, and now we can actually help with some of our laws and help with being able to transform some of these people into better quality of life.
A lot of these people have come from out of the area, and they tell me the reason they've come here is because we have such good services. And we are a very compassionate community. We need to take care of everyone. We can't put them aside and forget about them. And the government tends to spend a bunch of money and kind of get them out of sight, out of mind, but that doesn't get them back into being productive members of society. So we really need to focus on rehabilitation and getting people back into the community and working and paying taxes. And so, yeah, the homelessness problem has become huge. There's several businesses I've talked to, they've had vandalism, they've had urinating on the street, all of those kinds of things. So We've got to tackle the homeless issue, and we do have a task force in place, and we're working hard on that.
When we come back, for the first time in over 20 years, a re-entry center has opened in Washington State, and it's right here in Wenatchee. Governor Jay Inslee made a stop there today. Washington's Army National Guard will soon relocate one of its aviation support facilities from Spokane to the former Executive Flight Building at Pangborn Memorial Airport. And the Wenatchee Valley Museum is ready to get spooky as open casting calls for their haunted museum have begun. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house, fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Caught in a conflict? Family, workplace, neighbor, business, housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
This is Grace, and this is her world record-holding guinea pig with an iconic name, Abby.
She currently holds the Guinness World Record for the highest bar jump by a guinea pig. I ride horses and I jump, so I kind of thought it'd be interesting to teach my guinea pig to jump like my horse does.
One day she came out of her room and looked at us, and I said, "Did you get it?" And she said, "Yeah, we got it."
After we won our award, we came to Abby's to celebrate.
For the first time in over 20 years, a re-entry center is opened in Washington State. The ribbon cutting for the specially designed Wenatchee Valley Re-Entry Center on Okanagan Avenue was held earlier today. Joined by local leaders and representatives from the Washington State Department of Corrections, Governor Jay Inslee made a stop in Wenatchee to offer his congratulations and get a tour of the facility. NCWLIFE News spoke with the department's Reentry Division Assistant Secretary Danielle Armbruster about the goals and design of the center.
So we really took a lot of time to think intentionally about the flow of the building, the colors of the building, and really if you look around at the textures, we have different textures, different colors, and really thinking about that normalization for individuals as they're transitioning from a prison facility out into the community. So really having those soft seating areas, areas where they can just mingle and really come together as a community. Washington State Department of Corrections is focused on humanity and corrections. We're focused on helping individuals the moment they walk into one of our prison facilities, all the way till they go back out into their communities, and every step of the way thinking about how we can support them in that transition back to the community. Really thinking about our interactions with staff and incarcerated individuals, and thinking about how we can have that extra support in a reentry center so that when an individual is coming from a prison facility out to the community, they have that extra support prior to being released completely out to the community. So we work with incarcerated individuals while they're in a prison facility and really look at what their needs are and what county they will be returning to once they're out of the jurisdiction of the Department of Corrections. So we work with what we call multidisciplinary teams and reentry teams to ensure that we're really supporting that individual and finding the right place and the right facility for an individual to transition. We have just expanded from a 6-month eligibility to a 12-month eligibility, which means that for the last 12 months of an individual's sentence, they can spend that in a reentry center. We're looking forward to being good neighbors. We're looking forward to creating good neighbors that are going to go back out into the community and really supporting the local economy and supporting just the community here.
Washington's Army National Guard will soon relocate one of its aviation support facilities from Spokane to the former Executive Flight Building at Pangborn Memorial Airport. National Guard commanders toured the new hangar site earlier this week. They say a location in eastern and central Washington is critical to respond to wildfires and other emergencies. The Guard will lease the building and 2 aircraft hangars for $350,000 a year over 10 years, while a more permanent flight facility and readiness center is built further down the runway. About 100 soldiers will conduct drills out of the Pangborn facility on a monthly basis, including the National Guard's 286th Firefighting Detachment. The Aviation Center is currently housed at Fairchild Air Force Base outside Spokane. The move to Pangborn is tentatively scheduled for the summer of 2024. The Wenatchee Valley Museum is ready to get spooky. Open casting calls for their haunted museum have begun, and there's no acting experience required. There are both speaking and non-speaking parts, including ghosts and guides and other volunteer roles in non-acting positions, including ticket sales, makeup, technicians, and security. Participating scarers should be at least 16 years old. The haunted museum dates have not yet been announced, but a Google form that's available on the NCWLIFE website can be filled out to express interest. Coming up next, we will bring you our weekly Pause for Pets feature with the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, where we will introduce you to Henley the dog. Hot tomorrow through the weekend, and then windy and much cooler next week. I'll have all the details in your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
Castle Rock International is the Northwest premier real estate agency for large acreage properties, farms and ranch land, lodging and resorts, and other distinctive commercial real estate. Professional, knowledgeable, and discreet, Castle Rock International has the listings and the buyers you have been looking for. Contact John McNamara at Castle Rock International today, or visit their website for more information on this award-winning company.
Dear Mary Maids, please clean the kitchen, and the cabinets, and floors, and the chairs. And I wish you could clean the dog. Colin is now feeding himself. Thanks, Megan.
Hi, Megan. No worries. We got it all cleaned up. Let's hope Colin gets past the spaghetti flinging stage soon. Till then, we've got you covered. See you next time, Mary Maids.
At D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee, they believe your investment success begins with a personalized plan. A plan that is the roadmap you need to navigate your way to living your best years in retirement. D.A. Davidson can help you create a plan so you can take the time to enjoy the finer things in life. Let the financial advisors at D.A. Davidson help chart your retirement future today.
Hi, I'm Coralie with Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, Animal Care Coordinator here. And this handsome boy is Henley. Henley, want to look at the camera? No? Come here. Henley is a 4-year-old Belgian Malinois. For those of you who don't know, Malinois are highly prized police dogs. They have a very high level of intelligence and are really protective and, especially in this guy's case, really sweet. He's really snuggly, and he's actually, might be because of his age, but he's really has a balanced energy about him. Like, he is active and he wants to play and walk and run with you. He's really polite with other dogs, which is wonderful, and just an all-over joy for us to have here. He came to us as a stray, so we don't know a heck of a lot about him, but from what we do know, we think that he would be a really great member of your family. He would love to go on hikes and walks and impress you with his tricks. We do suggest that if you want to bring Henley into your family, that you have a fence because he's very agile and he always wants to be doing something. If you'd like to come by and give Henley some belly scratches, we are open from 11 till 6, Thursday through Tuesday.
Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org.
Time now to take a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope your Thursday was a good one. We had some haze and some wildfire smoke all over the valley today, and you can see a lot of the mountains are obscured in the background. This is our Hose Landing Sky-Fi Tower camera. You can see Lincoln Rock right there in the screen, but boy, we had lots of that haze today. Our air quality in Wenatchee this afternoon, about 71. Between 50 and 100 is moderate, so it wasn't good by any means today, but it wasn't unhealthy either. So we've been kind of teetering back and forth today, and that's going to be our conditions as we get into tonight and once again tomorrow too. Also, as we get late into the weekend, our weather will begin to change. We'll begin to see some breezy winds. That will be late day, early evening for us in the Wenatchee Valley. 20 to 25 mile an hour winds are possible and very dry conditions. Look at those humidities between 12 and 18%. Be extra careful if you are dealing with fire out there outside, because fire danger has been lowered in Chelan County to stage 1. So today, 84 degrees, our high temperature unofficially. 78 is where we should be for this time of year. 93 is our record high, and that was set in 2013. 55 this morning, and that's pretty much in line with where we should be for this time of year at 53. Our record cold, 41, and that was set in 1986. Sunrise this morning, 6:37, and the sun sets tonight at 7:15. All right, let's take a look now at your Football Friday temperatures, and it's not going to feel much like football weather. 88 degrees all over the map. Moses Lake, Ephrata, and Quincy, Wenatchee, 88. The one thing that could change our temperatures tomorrow is that wildfire smoke. If we do see it like today, it might keep our temperatures just down a little bit. We'll have to wait and see how that shakes out. 87 for Eniat tomorrow, 86 in Leavenworth, and 83 the high temperature in Lake Wenatchee. All right, tonight we do expect, let's look at the big picture first, and this is our next 5 days. This is a great view of a ridge of high pressure up and over the Pacific Northwest. Clear skies beneath that, but here's the storm system and another one in the Gulf of Alaska. They will roll through Canada as we make our way through the weekend, and that's what will change our weather. Here's that first low already trying to make its way in, but the ridge is kind of keeping it at bay tonight. That'll keep us mild overnight with low temperatures generally in the mid-50s. For Football Friday, sunny and warmer. Wildfire smoke will be the wild card in all of this tomorrow. We'll see what it does to our temperatures. We're thinking, though, at least upper 80s, and that's about 10 degrees above where we should be for this time of year. Kicking off the upcoming weekend, boy, it's going to get hot. Sunny skies, unseasonably hot on Saturday. We're talking high temperatures in the low 90s. So if you do have outdoor plans, fantastic weekend for it this weekend. Increasing clouds on Sunday. We talked about some breezy conditions late in the day. Still warm and maybe even hot to some with highs in the upper 80s. And here's where our real big weather changes come. We'll see some windy conditions on Monday. Much cooler too. We are going to drop into the upper 70s from the lower 90s the day before, and that trend will continue as we make our way into the middle of next week. Sunny and windy once again. I think Tuesday will be our windiest day. It's going to continue with the cool down. High temperatures Tuesday below normal in the mid 70s, and we're going to cool down even more than that by the end of our forecast on Wednesday. Mostly sunny. High pressure will be present, but it's dragging that cooler air down now into Washington State. We're talking highs on Wednesday only in the low to mid 70s. Let's take a look at your 7-day forecast now. 54 overnight tonight. Maybe the last gasp of really nice summer-like weather. 88 this week to start our weekend on Friday. 92 Saturday. 88 with some increasing clouds Sunday. Possibly some breezy conditions. And then we will see some breezy and even windy conditions for Monday and Tuesday. 79 your high on Monday, 74 Tuesday, mostly sunny and just downright cool on Wednesday with a high temperature then of 73. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
At Confluence Health, our mission is clear: to provide exceptional care for our community. We believe in healthcare that's personal and local because we're just like you, members of this great community.
We are Confluence.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
We are Confluence.
The Mariners grabbed the final game of its 3-game series with the Angels yesterday by a final of 3-2. Seattle got just enough offense. Luis Castillo pitched just well enough to earn his 13th win, and Cal Raleigh provided another memorable defensive play with a walk-off caught stealing to end the game.
Line, left field, is it high enough? It bangs off the wall. Rojas is in to score, Crawford to third, and Julio parks in at second base. 99 driven in this year by Julio Rodriguez.
The Angels through next year as Drury lines one down the left field line, a base hit. Neto was running on the pitch. He gets to third. He's being waved home. He will score easily as that ball hit the sidewall and just died on the outfield grass.
Into right field, it's a base hit. Ty France is being waved in. Phillips to throw to the plate. It is in time. The tag is late. France scores, and this game is tied. A BB, and it's off the glove of Drury, and the Mariners have taken the lead. Topa's 2-2. No, instead, off the bag. JP's got him, running Adams down. Gino pops the tag on him, and he's out. Phillips takes off. Cal's throw. He got him! A walk-off caught stealing. Cal with the hose.
Bill Devlin's going to have him take a look at it.
Los Angeles is challenging the out call at second base.
All right, get ready to celebrate.
After review, the call on the field is confirmed. The runner is out.
Northwest Jen Mueller caught up with the Big Dumper after the game to talk about the final out and his game-tying RBI.
Cal, that was a gutsy play. How confident do you have to be to make that throw to second?
Yeah, you know, I've been throwing it well lately and just try to put the throw as close as I can to the bag and let JP do the rest.
Why do I sound more excited than you sound about that play?
I'm a little tired today.
You do deserve a day off. When you've got that series of events in the 5th inning, were you expecting that, the intentional walk to Julio and then the pitching change?
No, I wasn't expecting that, but, you know, I've faced that guy a few times, and he's had my number, and, you know, just looking to try to help the team out, try to get a run in, and Ty, geez, he's really slow, but he got in barely.
But when you've got a runner in scoring position, you still have great numbers from the left side of the plate. How does that change that at bat?
Yeah, just try not to do too much. You know, I don't need the 3-run homers to get the run in, try to keep the game close, try to tie it back up, and Teo came in clutch after me as well.
Scott Service was not impressed with Seattle's offense, but happy to earn a tough win and move on to a day off today.
Not easy. Winning series in September, it doesn't matter if you're playing playoff teams or other teams, the young players trying to prove something, but awesome job, Luis Castillo. He has been the rock. He's put together just an unbelievable season after doing what he did last year to lead us into the playoffs, and it's about as consistent as you can get. I think that's really the thing that stands out for me with Castillo is just he's literally the rock. He is the epitome of consistency. Goes out there, challenges guys, gets after it, and then, you know, when you take a lead to go out and, you know, take care of business there, give us one more inning in the sixth was huge.
Seattle welcomes the Dodgers to T-Mobile Park for the first of 3 games Friday night at 7:10. It'll be on Root Sports Northwest. Well, while the Mariners were winning, so too were the Astros and Rangers. Houston got home runs from Yordan Alvarez, Alex Bregman, and Kyle Tucker in a 6-2 win over the A's. Texas's Jordan Montgomery and 2 relievers combined on a 5-hit shutout for the Blue Jays in Toronto as the Rangers won 10-0. Texas is a game back of Houston in the division, while Seattle is a game and a half back. Toronto's loss to Texas gave Seattle the 3rd wildcard playoff spot by itself. Tampa Bay edged Minnesota 5-4 to remain 8.5 games ahead. Rangers are a half game in front of Seattle for the 2nd spot. Yankees and Red Sox were rained out yesterday. They're making that up as a doubleheader coming up today. Well, the Seahawks head to Detroit Sunday to take on the Lions, and Coach Pete Carroll says they'll be flying high after upsetting the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs in their opener.
Big op for them to come back home, you know, opening game and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be a real challenge environment, which is great. We need to get in those situations and see how to handle the noise and how to handle just the you know, the ruckus of it all. So it's a really good matchup for us coming up. We need hard ones, we need tough ones, and so here they come. It's a good balanced football team. The way they play and their style, Coach Campbell's done a great job getting these guys rolling, and they got a really good format to them. So we're getting our game tuned in, and we've got to get ready to play a really good football game for 4 quarters. You know, we looked last week, first half was one way and second half was another way, and so we have to finish better than we did.
Kickoff is set for 10 a.m. on Sunday morning on Fox. Eastmont and Wenatchee met in another classic girls soccer game at the Apple Bowl last night. Wenatchee jumped out to a 1-0 first half lead on a goal by Natalie Bowles in the 19th minute. Eastmont would counter with 2 goals in the second half to win it 2-1. Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wisen had the call here on the NCWLIFE channel.
And I started going through the rosters, and there was a last name that I couldn't pronounce, and I said out loud, what kind of last name is this? I'll tell you more in a second, because here comes Wenatchee, the shot, go, 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 go! Wenatchee Panthers take the lead, Natalie Bowles. There's a quick run into the box. Chandler shot a golazo! Go, 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 go! Eastmont ties it up in a brilliant, lightning quick counterattack. There's a touch. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! How did that find Mick Chandler all alone, Matt Wisen? All alone. Yeah. You were talking about Eastmont ball watching. That was exactly what the back line of Wenatchee got caught doing.
I agree. Just stepped up into that hole and fed the ball. And she's like, all right, if no one else is going to play it, I might as well put a foot on it and see what happens. And
Martinez, the touchback for Burgess. And there's the whistle that says that Eastmont crossed the river and takes a big victory over their arch rivals from Wenatchee by a final score of 2-1.
It's huge. It's huge in our growth and our progress. I mean, hitting adversity early, and kind of what I liked that I saw was they didn't necessarily put their heads down. They knew it was a mistake, that we kind of gave them that opportunity, and they just kept playing. Both teams kept playing. It was a great soccer match to watch.
I think we truly just wanted it more. We were down first half, and I think in the locker room we got a big talk by our coach, and I think just as a team we decided that we were going to show up and we were not going to go home defeated.
Also on the pitch last night, Omak bounced Liberty Bell by a final of 5-1. Coming up today, Chelan is hosting Brewster, while Pateras visits Omak. Ephrata is hosting Selah coming up at 6 o'clock. On the volleyball courts last night, Kashmir took down Quincy 3-1. Okanagan swept Cascade 3-0. Omak blanked Liberty Bell 3-0. Etiat topped Moses Lake Christian 3-0. A busy schedule tonight has Cascade hosting East Valley. Pateros visits Easton. The 6:30 matches have Quincy at Natchez Valley. Lake Roosevelt hosts Bridgeport. Liberty Bell travels to Oroville, and Manson takes on Tonasket. Later at 7 at Chelan at Ellensburg. Eastmont is hosting Moses Lake, and Sunnyside is at Wenatchee. Also in the pool earlier today, Wenatchee was on the road at West Valley, while Moses Lake was hosting Eastmont. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a happy Thursday.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and have a great night.